Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to episode 11 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. In today's episode, I wanted to chat with you about a topic that is very close to the hearts of the majority of us mompreneurs, and that is mompreneur mum guilt. There's all kinds of mum guilt that crops up in our day-to-day lives as a mum in general, but there are additional mum guilts that crop up that are unique to mompreneurship too. And so I wanted to touch on some of those today to just chat a little bit about what mum guilt is, why it raises its head, especially on this mompreneur journey, some of the most common mum guilts that I have seen both with myself and with my coaching clients that probably sometime or another have cropped up for you too, and a few strategies and ways that you can handle those so that you can give yourself the much compassion that you deserve, knowing that you are doing a wonderful job, both as a mum and as the boss of your business. Let's dive in. Mompreneur mum guilt is something that is super common that often comes up during our journey of finding a way and a healthy way of balancing the needs and demands of being a mompreneur with being a mum, of doing what we can to be a dedicated mum, but also a driven entrepreneur, someone who wants to grow and thrive in their business, but also feel connected to and be the best to our kids and be the best mum that we can possibly be. That mompreneur mum guilt, that mum guilt is a nagging feeling that we are not doing enough, that we're not doing it right, whether it's at home or in our business. It is an emotion that manifests in so many different ways that often cause us to question what we are doing is right, and it can make us feel torn between work and family. It can cause us to doubt our parenting decisions, to doubt our parenting skills, to doubt our decisions and skills as the boss of our business, and to make us feel or make us worry like we are not giving our all in either of the roles. It can make us feel torn between the two, to feel pulled every which way. And I know all too well from what it is like as a mompreneur of feeling torn every time I turn on my laptop, to when I'm working in my business to feel like I am not spending quality time with my kids, but then when I'm spending time with my kids, I'm neglecting my business. And there are so many different ways that mum guilt can raise its ugly head and cause us to really question what we are doing and whether we have got things right and whether we are just doing enough. Now, before we dive into the most common mum guilts that I have seen and come across in my business and working with my fellow mompreneurs and in myself, I want you to know that mum guilt is actually a good thing. Now, that may sound a little strange because it can make us feel pretty terrible when it does raise its head. But here's the thing. If we did not have mum guilt, if mompreneur mum guilt did not raise its ugly head, if it didn't cause us to question what we're doing and worry whether we are good enough and we are doing things right, then we wouldn't care. It means that we don't care. The fact that mum guilt is there is a good sign. It means that we care. It means that what we are doing and how we are doing things matters. It means that we care about our businesses, and it means that we care about our families. It means that we want to do right by our kids. We want to parent and be the best mum that we can possibly be, and that we want to do what we can is right in our business. That mompreneur guilt that raises its head and that causes us to question everything is actually a good thing. So if you are having mum guilt, know just by having that guilt, by that mompreneur mum guilt raising its head, you are already amazing. You are already doing amazing things, and that you are already enough, and what you are doing is enough. Because if that mompreneur and that mum guilt in general is there, then it's a sign that you are on the right path and the right track, because it's a time and a moment that it's causing you to stop and question what you're doing. And it's showing you and reassuring you that, hey, it's raising its head because I care. So knowing that and embrace that, next time mompreneur mum guilt raises its head, instead of beating yourself up for feeling that way, just spend a few moments acknowledging it, feeling it, and knowing that it is just a sign that you care and that you are on the right path to doing what is best for you and your family. There are all kinds of reasons why a mompreneur mum guilt can raise its head, but as mompreneurs, there's two main reasons. The first is having high expectations. We have high expectations for ourselves, and we want to excel both in our businesses and as a parent, as a mum. We want to do the best at everything. We have high expectations of what we want to succeed and the kind of way that we feel like we should be parenting that shows us that we are doing good. And those aspirations, whilst they are admirable, they can lead to feelings of guilt if we feel like we're falling short of those expectations. And then equally, the other most common reason why mum guilt raises its head is because of societal pressures. There is so much pressure out there of women having to be perfect and mothers having to be perfect. And as entrepreneurs, we should be perfect in our business. And all of those unrealistic ideals, whether they come from the mompreneurial world or whether they come from all the politics that you come across in the playground on the school run, or whether it's in TV and magazines and everywhere else and social media, all of those societal pressures can cause us to compare ourselves to other people, to compare ourselves to other mompreneurs out there of the way that they are running their businesses, and to cause us to compare ourselves to all of the other mums in the way that they are parenting their children. And all of those unrealistic ideas and expectations can contribute to mum guilt. They can make us question our choices and our abilities and whether what we are doing is enough. So what are some of the most common mompreneur and mum guilts that tend to raise their head? And what can we do to tackle them and help ourselves to overcome them when they do? Here are some of the most common mum guilts that I have come across in my time of working with other fellow mompreneurs as my coaching clients, in my Facebook community, with my subscribers who have emailed me, sharing the different mum guilts that they are struggling with, and also the mompreneur mum guilts that I have come across myself whilst trying to juggle and navigate my way through thriving both at home and at work. The first super common mompreneur mum guilt is that guilt over balancing work and family time, of feeling torn between our laptops and spending time with our family, of fearing that we're not giving enough time to either. And that's definitely one that I struggled with when I very first started out my business, of feeling torn and like I was neglecting my family every time I turned on my computer. But then every time I shut down my computer and walked away and spent time with my family, feeling like I was neglecting my business. And I would feel torn between the two and feel the guilt and the pull of both, of that I was, by working on one or being with one, I was neglecting the other, and I was not giving the other the due care and attention that it deserved as well. Struggling to separate work from family life and fearing that one is negatively impacting the other can really cause that mum guilt to raise its head, because the blurring of the boundaries makes us feel like we are never fully present in either of the roles. And it can especially raise its head when we are working from home, because if we're working outside of the home and we drop our kids off at school or nursery, we go out and do our day's job, and then we come home and we're back with family again. That helps us have clear boundaries. By going off to work for the day and then coming back home, that automatically sets and makes clear boundaries for us. We know that when we're at home, we are with family, and when we're at work, we're at work. But when we're working from home with our businesses, it makes it really difficult to actually have clear crystal boundaries of when our work day ends and family time starts. It can make it hard to create those physical and mental spaces for both, and to make a clear differentiation between what time is for when. And that can cause the mum guilt to raise of trying to find that balance between work and family time, and working at home, of having that feeling torn between our laptops and spending time with our kids, and feeling guilty about when we are with our kids, wondering about what emails have come in, what we need to do next in our businesses, when we need to be posting on social media again, and all of the things that are in our businesses that we're thinking about. And then when we're working, of feeling like we are not spending the quality time with our kids. We can hear them playing in another room and thinking of having that pull and that pang of, oh my goodness, I should be with them. So feeling that and having that mum guilt over balancing work and family time is super, super common. A good way of overcoming it is to set those clear boundaries. Just like we were going to work and leaving the house for the day and coming home, and having clear differentiation between work time and family time. Creating that boundary, setting your work hours and sticking to them, and saying, these are the hours that I'm going to work. Then when I'm done, I am done. When I'm with family, I am with family, and use that almost like a time block to give you structured work time and family time slots in your day, so that you know that you have quality time with your kids when you are having time with them, and you are working when you are working. Communicating that schedule with your family can make all the difference too, because when they know that you're available, and when they know playtime is playtime, but they're going to get to spend time with you afterwards, can really help them understand too that mum has work to do right now, but do you know what, in 20 minutes, half an hour, I'm going to be spending time with you. And that does make such a difference. That's one of the strategies that I adopted with my youngest, with him being at home, especially in the school holidays, and I still have my business to run, is to have super clear boundaries of what time that I'm working, so that he knows when I'm before or afterwards, he's going to get quality time with me. Another common mompreneur mum guilt is about having boundaries themselves and actually saying no, about feeling guilty when we say no to something, because there's only so many things we can say yes to in a day, that sometimes we have to say no to things. But that doesn't make it easy when it comes to actually doing it, because by saying no, that guilt can raise its head of that we're letting somebody down, or that we should have said yes to it, and it means that we're being mean by not saying yes to it, or that maybe some people will perceive us as being someone who's uncooperative and doesn't want to take part, or isn't a team player. But actually, there is only so much that we can take on, and when we're actually saying we're saying yes to too many things, then that can lead to boundary issues that have us feeling overwhelmed. And so by having those healthy, clear boundaries, and actually knowing that it's okay to say no to things, that is a powerful act of self-care and self-respect as well. So if that is a guilt that raises its head with you, is that you are feeling guilty whenever you say no, that you're saying no to something, just know that you can't say yes to everything, and that by saying no to something that doesn't quite fit in with what you're doing, or that you don't have the time or energy for, means that you are saying yes to the things that do matter. Another super, super common mompreneur mum guilt is guilt over our parenting styles. And in fact, this crops up regardless of whether we have a business or not. As mums in general, we always question our parenting styles. It's really easy to compare our parenting styles to how other people are parenting their children, and actually to feel like we aren't doing it right. That, well, if so-and-so is doing it like that and we're not doing that, does that mean we're bad parents? Does that mean we're not doing it right? Does that make me a bad mother? It's so easy to do that. And we are constantly to know and feel like we are on the right path, and that we are parenting, that we are being a good mom. It's human nature to compare ourselves to other people. But by doing that, that comparisonitis can put us down that path of actually feeling like we're not doing it right, that it can make us feel guilty that we're not as good a mum as them. And there's lots of things within our parenting styles that can cause us to question whether we are enough and whether we are being a good mum, especially when we are running our own businesses, because that comes with additional mompreneur mum guilt as well, of things like we are not spending enough time with our children, that we're missing important milestones, or we're missing important events, or in order to get our work done, we are giving them too much screen time. These are all mum parenting related guilts that I have dealt with all the time, and that I see crop up all the time with my fellow mompreneurs, with my coaching clients, and with my Facebook group members. And especially with things like not spending enough time and missing those important milestones, that by being on even though we're working from home, by being on a client call or by doing something related to our business, instead of going to their assembly, instead of going to their sports day, that we are missing things, and that we are neglecting our time with our family, that we're not spending quality time with them, and that we're putting our businesses first over our families. When it comes to managing the mompreneur mum guilt over your parenting styles, especially when it comes to working and juggling with work, knowing that you might be missing and feeling guilty about missing some of the important events or milestones, know that you can't be present for every moment. And that's okay. It's just not possible to be there for every single thing that they do, and it doesn't hurt or harm them if you're not able to. Instead, make an effort to be fully present during the important events that you can be there. Capture those moments with photos or videos to revisit when you're not physically there for them. And then also when you're not able to get to be part of it, ask them when they are doing it, explain to them that mummy has to work today, and get them when they are doing it to capture that mental memory of what they're doing in their day so that they can come home and share it with you. This was a strategy for overcoming this particular type of mum guilt that another speaker shared when I was speaking at a summit a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about all things mum guilt, and she actually shared that one of her favorite ways of dealing with it is to get her child to capture the moments in their mind as a mental memory and then share them with them when they got back from school. And to actually hear that child share their day and the thing that they were doing in their own words, and to have spent time taking that mental note so that they can reshare it with them, was amazing. And it showed them a totally different way of looking at what they were doing and capturing the special bits that were important to them so that they could then tell mum later. And that is a great way of overcoming it as well, is explaining to them that you can't be there for everything, that you've got to miss it this time around. In the meantime, I cannot wait to hear about the amazing day you had. Take stock and remember all of those memories so that when you come home, you can tell me all about them. Just aim for prioritizing quality over quantity. You can't be present at every moment, and that is okay. It's not about the amount of time we spend with our children, it's the quality of the time that we do. So do what we can and you can to be present when you're with your kids, and then working when you're working. And trust in your own unique style, that you know what is right for you and your family and your children the most, and do what feels right for you. The next really common mompreneur mum guilt is all about not meeting household expectations. It's that feeling that we are neglecting the household chores or the run of the house while we are focusing on our business. Is that we are letting things fall to the wayside, or maybe, things are a little extra messy, that we are not spending all of the time spritzing and sparkling our house and making things run like clockwork, and that it is not as good as it could be because we are working on our businesses, because we have a business as well as running our homes and looking after our kids. But here's the thing. We are not super mums, and we don't have to be superhero mumpreneurs 24/7, nor can we be. Nor do we have to do everything around the home ourselves, especially when we have people in the house who are old enough and perfectly capable enough to take part of and help in and spread the load too. What age appropriate chores can you give your kids that you can work on the housework together so that they are chipping in and spreading the load? And also helping them getting involved so they can see the importance of teamwork, and by working together and getting things done, how it frees up your time so that you have more time to spend together. Another good way of overcoming the guilt that comes with this one of not focusing on our homes when we're working on our businesses is to come up with some kind of schedule or routine that fits around your work life and your business life when working from home, that helps you to actually manage all those chores, to feel like you're not being pulled between the two. My favorite way of doing this is to have Monday mornings as all about my blitz day. So we'll have had everything and all of our time together on the weekends. But before I start my working week on a Monday morning, I will take a couple of hours just to blitz clean the house, to run around and get things straight again, to tidy up, to dust, and just to get on some laundry and catch up with a bit of washing. And knowing that I have done all of that not only makes me feel like I've actually given my house the attention it deserves before I dive into my work, but I also are then able free to focus on my work, fully focused on the task or whatever goal I'm working on that week, without feeling like I've neglected the house because I've already done it. And I can think straight because my house is tidy. So ask yourself, if this is a mum guilt that crops up for you, ask yourself, what sort of routines or systems can you put in place that fit around the needs of your business during the working week, so that you can feel like you are actually giving each area the attention that it deserves. Don't be afraid of getting your kids involved as well, and choose age appropriate tasks that they can do themselves to help spread the load. And if it helps, have a family chore chart and teach them how to do each of these things so that they know what they need to do when it's their turn to work on those tasks. Set those tasks and those expectations. And remember, you get to set those household expectations too. So if you feel like you are not meeting those expectations that you have set yourself of what your house should be like and how you should be spending your time on your house, ask yourself if those expectations are realistic, because you get to set the expectations. Another super common mompreneur mum guilt is that guilt about taking me time, about taking time to make your well-being a priority and filling your cup too and putting yourself first. That guilt around believing that taking time for yourself is selfish when you could be spending it with your family, that you are neglecting your family every time you're taking time to take time for you and spending time on yourself instead of spending time with them, and that you're not prioritizing the one that matters. But actually, you also need to prioritize you too. There are so many societal expectations placed on us as mums and as us in our caregiving roles that make it feel like self-care is indulgent. But that could not be further from the truth. This is something I talk about all the time, that self-care is not selfish and that it is essential for your well-being. Know that by taking time for you, you are refilling your cup, you are recharging your batteries so that you can then be a more present mum, a mum with more energy, a mum who feels happier, and a mum who has more mojo and time and dedication for her kids because she has taken the time to fill her cup too. If you are someone who often struggles with this particular mum guilt, know that you are not alone, but also know that you need to take care of yourself too. And taking care of you is the most selfless thing that you can do. Schedule regular self-care moments, even if they are short, because when you are recharged, you can give your best to your family and your business. The last mompreneur mum guilt that I want to share with you that I see all the time is this guilt over aspiring for success, of believing that by striving success in our businesses that we are going to be taking time away from our family, that who are we to have this, that by having and wanting something outside of being a mum, outside of being a stay-at-home mum, outside of being just a mum, that we are being selfish, that we are not, that we are ungrateful and that we're not happy with what we want and it's not good enough for us and that we want more. Well, actually, that could not be further from the truth. We totally deserve to aspire for wanting success and for wanting success in our business as well. But that doesn't mean that by having success in our business, that it takes time away from our family. Because with businesses, our own businesses, we get to set the rules. We get to set our work hours. And the more success we see in our business, the more we can reinvest into that business of finding other ways to free up our time and run things more on autopilot to free us to have more time for our family. It also gives us financial freedom as well. It's not just about time. By investing in our businesses and wanting to see and having that drive to want to see success in our business gives us time freedom and financial freedom. We are investing in our families by investing in our businesses. Recognize too that pursuing your dreams is an essential example for your children. It shows them that it is worth investing in the things that matter to you most. It teaches them that it's good to have aspirations and to have goals and dreams, and that there is nothing wrong in pursuing your dreams and going for what you want to achieve. It is a good lesson to show them and teach them that following their dreams shows that they are worthy and they deserve to go after the things that they want. So those are just a few of the mompreneur mum guilts that often raise their ugly head. Know that they are perfectly normal and that they are super, super common, that we all come across these one time or another. Mum guilt is a natural emotional response, and we are always going to have it, and different mum guilts are going to crop up in different times and seasons, but they should not define your journey. Know that by acknowledging these feelings and understanding their roots and implementing the strategies that I've shared to counteract them, you can embrace your role as a mompreneur with confidence. Know that your dedication to both your family and your business is truly, truly admirable. You are setting a powerful example for your children about the possibilities of pursuing your dreams while being present for your family. I hope that this episode has helped to give you a little bit of encouragement that mompreneur mum guilt is totally, totally normal, and that you are not alone in experiencing it. And I hope that some of the strategies I have shared for some of these most common mompreneur mum guilts will help you to deal with them and push past them, and next time they raise their head. Know that I'm here to support you in any way that I can. If you want to discuss this further or you need advice on some specific strategies, please, please, please feel free to reach out. Send me a message on Instagram over at the Unapologetic Mompreneur. I am here for you. You are doing an amazing job as a mompreneur, and you should be proud of your resilience and your dedication. Know that when mompreneur mum guilt raises its head, it's a sign that you care. It's a sign that you are enough and that you are perfectly good enough as a mum and a mompreneur as you are right now. That's all for today, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.